Hey, so for this video, I am going to talk about my plan of care specifically for me. I just want to let you guys know I am not a medical professional. Yes, I did work in a doctor's office once, but I was in front desk and I had nothing to do with patients and their care. So, um, so basically for me, my official plan of care is to get the cerclage on November 20th, and then after that we're going to see the doctor 1 week after that, and that's the MFM maternal fetal medicine doctor. And then we are going to get cervical checks and swabs for infection every 2 weeks, and just making sure that the cerclage was placed correctly, just making sure that everything went as planned during the surgery and that everything is growing correctly after that. That is strictly for maternal fetal medicine. For my OB office, I am also going to be seeing a doctor every three weeks. So there is going to be a time where I see a doctor, and then 2 weeks later I'm seeing another doctor, and then a week after that I'm seeing my other doctor. So I'm going to have a lot of doctor's visits, but it's all for the good of the baby's health, and it's all so that everything goes well with the rest of my pregnancy. For maternal fetal medicine, that is going to go until I am 28 weeks. And then they will see, once third trimester starts, they will see if they need to space it out, if they don't need to check my cervix as much, or etc. So I may see their office every 3 weeks, and then the OB office every 3 weeks, I think, as well. As well, because with the office that I'm in, after you go to a certain week, you then see a doctor every 2 weeks, and then you see a doctor every week, and that's when I get to be 35 weeks, etc. So it's all crazy, but let's just say that for the rest of this pregnancy, I will be at least seeing some doctor every 2 to 3 weeks. For me, I think that it will help me because I'm a worrywart, and you guys know this from watching my other videos, and I find that, once I haven't seen the baby in a few weeks, I start to get nervous, and I start to feel like, what if something has happened and I missed it. And so I think it's really good that I'll be able to see the doctor this much, and that at least on the times that we're not doing cervical checks, we're still talking about regular OB care, my diet, my weight loss, my weight gain, etc. So I'm getting a full care from two different offices, which is great. Also, I am trying to get a handicap permit for school because I am still in college, but I have to walk all the way across campus, and after I get the cerclage, I'm going to be on bed rest. So I'm hoping to get a handicap permit so that I am able to still function in life and not, be worried about the baby, or be worried that, oh, up this flight of stairs, up those flight of stairs, and then across campus, and now I may have ripped this, or maybe I've caused my water to break, etc. So I am getting my doctor's office to write me that note. So hopefully that'll give me a little bit of peace of mind as well. I have had a few questions from some people, and I want to definitely tell you this. If you are not comfortable with your doctor's office, or you do not trust them to give you the right care, then you need to switch. There is nothing more scary than going into your doctor's office and telling them something that you think is dangerous, like I have an infection, and them being like, oh yeah, whatever. If that's how you feel about your doctor's office, you probably should go to a different doctor's office. And I feel bad for the people who may be going through this, but they live in a rural area, and possibly, maybe there's the closest doctor is, an hour away, and that's the only doctor they can see. I feel bad about that because I know that is very important to me. Seeing a doctor that I trust, and seeing a doctor that when I talk to him, I believe that he's giving me the, good advice. He's giving me, a plan of care that is going to help me and the baby. If you are not getting that from your doctor, I would definitely say switch. And I don't mean like, oh, my doctor's office maybe takes a little too much time with paperwork or this or that, because a lot of it isn't the doctor. From my experience working in a doctor's office, a lot of it is the front desk, or it's the way the office is run. But as far as the actual doctor, if he tells you something, or he says go get a cerclage, or if he says this, and you instantly feel like you don't want my baby to live, you don't need to be with that doctor. That's not a good mindset for you to be in for your health and for your baby. So I would definitely say switch. So I've had a few questions that people are saying, I don't believe my doctor is telling me the right thing. And I would say to always, if you cannot switch, always try to get a second opinion. And I don't know if what kind of access you have. If you need to go to a library or something, try to reach out to other people. Try to reach out to other doctors. Try to call other doctors' offices if you can, and just see if you can come in for a consultation, etc., and see if you can get a second opinion. Because if you don't really trust them, then how can you go into a surgery, or how can you go into, just even regular OB care without a clear mind and without saying my baby can live? And a lot of high-risk women go through this because we already have in the back of our mind that something bad's going to happen, and then on the other side of our mind we have that our doctor doesn't really care about us. We're just a number, or we're just an insurance, dollar bill or something. If you feel that way and it's not something that you can bring to your doctor, or it's not something that you can pose to someone in management, then you need to switch. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, and I'm sure your spouse doesn't want you to feel uncomfortable, and I'm also sure that your doctor sure don't want you to be telling people that he made you uncomfortable. I think he'd rather you leave than you to be telling everybody that you hate him and that he's a horrible doctor. So I wouldn't want to be in that situation either. So that's just the advice that I would give on that. All right, guys, today we are pregnant, and today we're progressing. Alright, guys, so I had completely forgot, this is going to be really short, I completely forgot to do the sneak peek results for after confirmation, and I don't know if I said it, this is what pregnancy brain does to you. I don't know if I said it in one of my earlier videos, or if I mentioned the blood test results. I don't know. Anyway, so when I went to get my NT done a couple of weeks ago, I actually got my results, and it says that yes, sneak peek was correct. We are indeed having a girl. So there you go.